And I know you don't care, but I love you guys. So
We do care.
you do care now.
We care that you love us. We don't care if you don't.
Okay, perfect.
There's a difference.
Well, all right, great. Well, thank you for loving us, and thank you for being here. And I guess what I'd like to do is play with you around the concept of being limitless. And I've spoken with a few people here on the cruise already, and they were saying how they really needed this cruise because they felt like their vibration was lowering since maybe the last event that they were at. And I think we all have those peak experiences where we are flying up here on the high-flying disc, and then sometimes the reality of life or the situations that we are in.
The conditions of life.
Right.
That you are accustomed to using for your reason, for your vibration. Stop it.
Exactly. So are there practical ways and I know you've given us process upon process, but is there something unique or interesting that you could share with us today on how to maintain that limitless feeling? So whether it be in regard to relationships, money, family, soulmates, again, kind of staying on that high-flying disc. And I know it's
about understanding the physics of your time-space reality, meaning even the physics of your electrical currents and the physics of the vibrational nature. And so it really is as simple as understanding that law of attraction, the words law of attraction and the word momentum are inextricably tied. And when you allow momentum to get a foothold, when you think a thought for as little as 17 seconds, momentum begins. In other words, there's a jump in the velocity at about that point that is discernible. Of course, there are jumps in the velocity at every point, but we're talking about your ability to discern it happens at about 17 seconds. So if you're sensitive to the way you feel and you begin to focus because society or conditions or something cause you to focus upon something that is introducing resistance, resistance to what you want by perpetuating something you don't want. See, you're never standing still. You're always moving toward one thing or another. Ooh.
Right.
And the question is, are you moving toward what you want or are you moving away from it? Now let's be clear about that. Since there's no repulsion, what you want isn't repelling you. What you don't want is calling you. Can you hear the difference? And it's because what you don't want is active in your vibration. When you say, I want more money, but I don't have enough, more money calls you for a moment, then not enough calls you for a moment. And so if you give more airtime to I don't have enough money, and I've never had enough money, and I don't know anybody who's got enough money, and these are difficult economic times, you can get some momentum going. And once you cross the 17-second mark, and then again and again and again, once you cross 68 seconds, there's enough momentum going that you're probably not going to turn that around today.
right.
So that's where your momentum gets going. Beliefs are only thoughts that hold momentum. Some of your thoughts that hold momentum serve you and some of them don't. So the key that you're looking for is catching it in the early stages before it really gets going. Because when you say, I'm going to use my willpower to change my thought, we say it's not likely that you are, because law of attraction is stronger than your willpower. Law of attraction is momentum,
Right.
powerful momentum. So you want to work with the laws of the universe. You want to work with them rather than trying to use effort and action and words to buck the current of sloppy vibration. So the way we've been describing this, we think that this series of statements, as you focus on them, as you contemplate them, and as you come to know them, this is all you need. I am vibration. Thoughts are vibration. My vibration encourages thought.
Right.
My vibration attracts thought. My emotion is my most subtle vibration. Emotion is a slower vibration than words. Feeling is a slower vibration. It's a purer vibration. And so if you decide that you're going to start general and allow the momentum to increase, then you can get anywhere you want to be from anywhere you are.
Right.
But you don't want to be going 80 miles an hour on a train and all of a sudden get the train to go 80 miles the other way. It's hard on the contents. It's not a smooth transfer.
Right.
You want the train to slow down. by your lack of attention to the subject that's keeping it going. And then you want to speed it up by your attention to your object of attention.
And so how do you, like I've heard you talk about the two ends of the stick too sometimes, and so sometimes if we focus on abundance, sometimes that can activate the other. So then I guess in that instance...
This is really a good concept to introduce into this conversation at this point, because often you think that you are choosing your vibration by its subject, but every subject has the vibration of wanted and absence of wanted.
Right.
So just by saying, I'm going to talk about money because money is a good thing, or I'm going to talk about health because health is a good thing, when you activate the subject, whichever end of the stick is more dominant within you, whichever end of the stick you believe the most, is where you start off as soon as you turn your attention to it, because your belief is right where you last left it.
Right.
Oh, right where you last left it. But just because you left it there doesn't mean that it's active within you until you turn your attention to it. So let's say you have a subject where you have an active belief and you just don't think about it. You don't think about it. So it's not a resistant player in your vibrational countenance.
Right.
But then you hear a song that reminds you of it. Now it's active. So there was a time when we encouraged you to just turn your attention from anything that was uncomfortable as a beginning step in learning that you could control the direction of your thought.
Right.
But when you just turn your attention away from it, if it's something that you can really keep your attention away from, then you don't ever need to change the content of that vibration. You don't need to leave it in another place. But if it's a stick you're going to keep picking up, and every time you pick it up it's where you last left it, then it's very helpful, and this is what you're asking us for, it's very helpful to take that subject and be as general about it as you can. Because as you get general about it, you will slow the vibration of it until it is non-existent.
Right. And can you maybe just tie that in really quickly too? I've been working with sort of the toroidal field and the heart and sort of that resonance, which I guess just goes along with everything that we're saying. So using the heart to magnify that energy. Can you say anything about that? Or
we can say that you're getting too specific about something that should be a lot easier.
Right. Okay. So just keep it simple, get happy.
But one of the advantages of someone giving you a process that has no relationship to anything else you've ever thought about, it can be distracting and therefore vibrationally soothing in nature.
Right.
That's what all rituals are about. If you say, I want this thing that I've not been able to achieve, and someone says to you, well, here's a process that will help you get there. But in order to get there, you have to sit on your thumb and stand on your toe. And since that's not something that you usually do,
right,
the very experience of doing that and the weirdness of it could distract you from your normal thought and put you in a more neutral place to get the results that you want. So much of that happens. But there is so much conditional conditioning in all of that.
Yeah.
We're wanting you to sort of get right to the heart of who you are. But even as we want you to do that, in some cases it's illogical, because that's like us saying to you, we are ignoring the vibrations that you have active within you, and we want you to ignore them too. Well, just because we're able to ignore them doesn't mean that you are able to ignore them. Everyone has to find their own way. So that's why a sensitivity to the way you feel and just a gradual, general, steady attention toward it will allow you to improve your vibration on every subject in the world. It is not a difficult thing. The best process that we can offer you is this. You get law of attraction. We know you do. Law of attraction and momentum are one and the same thing. When you sleep, your momentum subsides. Hold that thought. When you sleep, your momentum subsides. So your beliefs are suspended while you sleep. Now some are arguing, well then why do I have those dreams? Well, the dream is downloaded as you are coming back into consciousness, and it represents what your usual vibration is. But when you awaken, you are in your least likely to continue the momentum of unwanted vibrations.
Right.
You're also least likely to continue your wanted vibrations, except that in that absence of resistance, your true natural calling or path of least resistance will call you. Because while you slept, oh, this is good, we've not said this to you before, while you slept, we didn't.
Right.
Your point of attraction of well-being and prosperity stayed active within us. So when you awaken,
Amazing.
if you don't have resistance going, you're going to come.
Yeah.
You're going to come right along, you see, and you can feel it. So you do it for a morning, and then you do it for another morning, and then you do it for another morning, and about day 7 or 8 or 9 or 10, you start to notice noticeable differences in the way you feel. You're just easier about things. You're just more lighthearted. Things that have been bothering you aren't bothering you so much. There's less evidence of those bothersome things in your life experience. You feel more blended, and it doesn't mean that you never again feel negative emotion. It just means that the balance of your vibration shifts in just a matter of a few days. And once you show yourself that difference, and then, about the 2nd or 3rd week of that, you begin having realizations, you begin having impulses. You just feel lighter and fresher and surer.
Yeah.
And evidence of that becomes stronger and stronger in your experience. You become a liver of unconditional life more and more and more. And those around you who are struggling are in your experience less, or you are feeling differently about them when they are there. You're not taking on their issues. You zigging and zagging more because there's less that's bothersome in them that's active in you.
Right.
So life just gets better and better and better and better. But the condition didn't happen which caused you to feel better. You felt better because you slowed the momentum.
Right.
You got the momentum going, that is the momentum that is truly who you are. Right. And then you began realizing life on all levels that was in accordance with the absence of resistance that you accomplished through this very simple process. You like that?
We like that.
Yeah.
Thank
Something
you.
more?
I'll see you in the morning. Thank you very much.